The government has decided to extend the full movement control order for another 2 weeks from June 15th to June 28th. Senior Minister Security Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said in a statement that this decision was made following a recommendation by the Ministry of Health during the National Security Council special meeting today, which was chaired by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. This was after taking into account the high number of daily new COVID-19 cases, which remain above the 5,000 mark. The standard operating procedures remain unchanged. Malaysia recorded 6,489 new cases, taking the total number of infections to 646,411. Selangor saw a jump in the number of cases to 2,558 from 1,510 yesterday, as mass testing continued in the state. Kuala Lumpur came in second with 884 cases, followed by Sarawak 699 and Negeri Sembilan 685. Overall, 7,749 people recovered today, while 78,864 are still infected. 912 patients are warded at ICUs nationwide, 458 of whom require respiratory assistance. 84 new fatalities were recorded, bringing the death toll to 3,768. Bank Negara says electronic money liabilities, which refer to funds collected by Emoney issuers from their customers, have grown significantly from about 500 million ringgit to 1.6 billion ringgit in the past 5 years. This is due to the proliferation of mobile technology, such as QR codes and mobile applications, digitalization of financial services, and the shifts in consumer behavior. According to the central bank's e-money exposure draft, which it published today, the use of e-money for payments has steadily recorded a double-digit growth for the past 5 years, and the form of e-money has progressed from the traditional stored value cards to network-based solutions, such as online accounts or e-wallets. It said e-money represents 33% of total e-payments in the country, with a 131% increase witnessed in e-wallet transactions to 600 million ringgit last year. Given the growing prominence of e-money in the e-payments landscape, Bank Negara said enhancements to the e-money regulatory framework are needed to ensure e-money continues to be a safe and reliable payment instrument. It said the exposure draft sets out its proposed requirements and guidance for issuers of e-money and is inviting written feedback on the proposals, with responses to be submitted to the central bank by July 31st, 2021. Malaysia's Industrial Production Index, or IPI, which soared year-on-year 2 months ago, is expected to ease in the coming months. Citing Moody's Analytics, State News Wire Bernama says the tighter restrictions and production capacity limitations being implemented will inevitably dent output. According to the Department of Statistics today, Malaysia's IPI rose by 50.1% year-on-year in April. That's up from the 9.3% increase in March. In a note today, however, Moody's Analytics reportedly said the large swing was primarily due to low base effect from last year, and that factoring in the low base year comparison, total industrial production actually fell by 4.5% month-on-month. This was in line with a decline in export value of manufacturing products of 300 million ringgit in April. It also reportedly warned that while both trade and industrial production have outperformed expectations so far, an eye needs to be kept on heightened uncertainty and downside risks, which may threaten to derail Malaysia's recovery pace. Australia-listed mining firm OM Holdings, which is seeking a secondary listing in Malaysia, says its tentative listing date on the main market of Bursa Malaysia is June 22nd, 2021. It is the first cross-listing on Bursa and the ASX. OM, which launched its prospectus today, said its shareholders may commence the process of removing their shares from the Australian register to the Malaysian register via the submission of a request with OM's Australian share registrar, Computer Share Investor Services. The process will take at least 3 market days to complete. It said holders who wish to commence trading of their shares on the listing date next month should submit their register removal request to the Australian share registrar by 10 a.m. Sydney time on June 16, 2021. OM already has existing operations in Malaysia. Its website indicates that the company, which is a vertically integrated manganese ore and ferroalloy company, is engaged in the business of mining and trading of raw ores, as well as smelting and marketing of processed ferroalloys. Citigroup Nominees is its largest shareholder with a 27.16% stake. Notable shareholders include TA Securities with a 0.24% stake. Reservoirlink Energy is looking to diversify its business and enter the solar energy business. In a board's filing today, the group said it has signed a share sale agreement with businessman Lee Seng Chee to buy a 51% stake in founder Synergy for 21.17 million ringgit. The deal will be funded via 8.46 million ringgit in cash and the allotment of 18.15 million new shares in Reservoirlink at 70 cents a piece to Lee. The deal is subject to a profit guarantee, where founder Synergy will achieve an aggregate annualized profit after tax of 13.8 million ringgit over 24 months after the completion of the acquisition. Upon the acquisition's completion, the company will be a 51% owned subsidiary of Reservoirlink, which says it may see more than 25% of future net profit being derived from founder Synergy.